The execution of a Georgia woman on death row has been postponed. Kelly Gissendaner was convicted in 1997 for recruiting her boyfriend to kill her husband. Her boyfriend is serving life in prison for the crime. Gissendaner has since experienced a dramatic spiritual transformation and now counsels other inmates. Her execution date was set for February 25th, but it was delayed because of inclement weather. It was halted again after concerns about the drug to be used for the lethal injection. Religious leaders and death penalty opponents are petitioning that she be spared. Dr. Jennifer McBride was Gissendaner's theology professor in prison, and she joins us now via Skype. Dr. McBride, first of all, tell us about your relationship with Kelly.
Yes, thank you, Charlene. I met Kelly in January 2010 in a classroom inside a Georgia women's prison. I was teaching in a theology certificate program that was sponsored by 4 Protestant seminaries in Atlanta. It was a great gift for Kelly to be able to come and join this classroom community because she is normally in solitary confinement. Halfway through the year, a new warden arrived and said that she could complete the program, but it would have to be from her prison cell. So every Friday for a couple of hours, I went and visited her, and we talked about our faith and the Bible and theology through the bars. We read books on repentance and grace and hope.
Wow. Now talk about her spiritual transformation. I understand that it's been pretty dramatic.
Yes, well, Kelly's relationship with Jesus began long before I met her. Early on in her prison sentence, a pastor came and visited her and began those really difficult but loving conversations that led to her conversion and to her commitment to Jesus. She also has been ministered to by the prison chaplain and chaplaincy interns. So it was through the theology program, which is a good, about 10 years into her prison sentence, that Kelly, I think, deepened that faith by learning to love God with her mind. So she learned the power of asking deep, probing questions about the Bible and about Christian tradition. She learned that she has a voice and that she has insight to give to the wider church, both on the outside of prison and also to her fellow inmates on the inside.
Awesome. Now, I understand that her execution has been postponed twice now, and her attorneys have actually filed suit saying that this is putting her through an agonizing wait. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we, of course, any time that Kelly is still alive is a time of hope. And a big part of Kelly's theological journey has been thinking about what this important biblical category of hope is. So yes, we are continuing to hold her up in prayer in this very difficult time, and we're continuing to hope for a change, that her death sentence would be commuted to life in prison without parole.
And you're actually calling on Georgia's governor and state legislators for a more just and merciful system of justice for Kelly and for others. Talk to that issue. What are you doing to actually try and get this done?
Yes, well, some of what we're doing is just trying to bring to light some of the facts of the case. If Kelly is executed, and she'll be the first person to be executed in Georgia that was not the trigger person, nor was she present at the crime. We are also, the governor does not have official power to grant Kelly clemency, but of course he does have power of influence. He is the one who picks the board of pardons and parole. So we're asking for faith leaders to reach out to the governor, to the board, to anyone who might have influence. And we have over 500 faith leaders from Georgia, over 1,200 faith leaders from around the country, and many more, thousands upon thousands of people from Georgia and around the world who have spoken to grant Kelly mercy.
And Dr. McBride, you say that Kelly's case is pushing Christians to re-examine repentance and forgiveness. Explain what you mean by that.
Well, I think that that for a lot of us, we understand that we are sinners. We understand that we live by God's grace. But the kinds of sins that many of us commit are things that many people commit. And when you're talking about someone who has committed such a heinous crime that has caused such harm, I think it really pushes us to examine, does God's forgiveness really reach the person who has planned a murder of a good man? Douglas Gissendaner is a good man, and this has caused a lot of harm to his family, to Kelly's children, but they have reconciled with her. And so it shows, the concrete power of the gospel that Kelly's children have forgiven her and reconciled and are pleading, pled to the board to save their mother so that she could continue to be in their lives. So I just think that all the basic concepts that we claim as Christians, forgiveness, repentance, redemption, the power of the resurrection, all those things are pushed to the extreme in the case of a crime like this.
Wow. Dr. Jennifer McBride, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.